Ali and welcome to my channel where I'm writing my books. I'm playing with ink and fountain pens, and today I've just inked up my sailor. Ugh, everything falls. With a new ink, and I want to do a journal spread that is based on that ink. And I have a sticker book and I have some washi tape that I found at my local TK Maxx, and I have sort of some butterflies and some flowers. Yeah, so let's see what we can find. I've used a bit of this, so the ink is pretty purpley. The octopus will be cool. Maybe I'm using, I'm trying to befriend my local crows. Maybe, yeah. Maybe I'm using some of the bird stickers for this occasion. And then there's a washi tape that looks a bit like old sort of Scotch tape that has gone old. I quite like that. I mean, that would work pretty well. Okay, let's do that then. So this book is actually a 2026 Leuchtturm diary, and because I've seen so many people use sort of the Hobonichis that they haven't filled out completely as ink journals, I sort of thought these diaries have the same paper than my usual manuscript notebooks. Did not do a great job here. And why not wait until they're on offer, because it's gone March, and yeah, and just buy a couple of them and use them, because these have sort of like 1 page for a day. This is the dotted version, and originally it was, so you can see it is has like, it's the rising sun, it's the yellow one. I thought, why not like take advantage of getting half price daily diary, basically. Now I can find the end. And yeah, and use it like in a way that I like. And so I think I started April. Just quickly have a look. No, in March. So I started in March, and I've now almost caught up. So this is sort of, yeah, end of April. Currently it's the 24th of May. So I've almost caught up, but I think I'm just going to use as much space as I want to, because I have more to come. Because I bought a couple of them. And just try not to rip the sticker. Just I can't see anything. Sorry. He looks quite happy there. another crow. For the next page. I'm sorry, I sort of haven't done this very cleverly. I can't show you the whole spread at once. There are lots of sort of little beetles on this spread, but I wonder whether I keep them and look for something else. These are quite cool. So yeah, let's use those. So I usually don't decorate my spreads in advance because I want them to look different as the mood takes me, really. These are quite cool as well. I still want to have like mostly text on the page. So, I think we can do some little bits. Maybe a third one. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. I might do some more of the tape. Ooh. I need to do one in this corner. One over here. Sorry, you can't see it. And that might have sort of over-egged the pudding, but no, I think that works quite well. So basically I'm going to right. And then for headings at the moment, I have my dense pens in the Neptune model. This is the Shelly pen with an abalone mix resin, and this has a 1.1 stub and is inked up with Lady Grey at the moment. And I'm going to speed up the writing, yeah, because otherwise it is like watching paint dry. Okay, this is Sunday. And I usually do some sort of border around it. I just love how Lady Grey shades, so I'm really enjoying sort of the little whoop, okay, that wasn't very pretty. The problem is it's extremely sticky at the moment. We are in a heat wave and it's just beyond horrible. So I might actually, yeah, try and find something I can I can use as a thing to put my hand on, otherwise I might get stuck to the paper. And this is my Sailor Pro Gear Harozora Spring Sky, and I've just inked it up with Pannonia Iconiat, and I'm so excited about finally seeing this ink in action. Today is the 24th of May. Today is a bank holiday in the UK, and what I did today, because as I mentioned we have a heat wave, I got up early at about 6 o'clock in the morning. I had packed my swimming stuff yesterday. I made myself a little lunch and then sort of to take away with me, and then I jumped in the car and drove about an hour and 10 minutes to Cliefden Marine Lake, which is basically sort of a structure that is every high tide it's flooded, and then the water stays behind and you can swim there without like whatever the tide level, and then so the water gets refreshed with every tide cycle. And I've discovered this last year, I think, and one of my favorite things to do is to go there early for a swim. You can park up quite close. I mean, obviously you have to pay for that. It's pretty rudimentary. There's no changing room. There's not really a toilet close by. You have to walk a bit, but it's still sort of, it's like an infinity pool, and you swim and you see out to sea. I'm going to put some photos up. Today I started here and the sky was bright blue. It was already really warm, and then I came towards the Bristol Channel and there was so much fog. Suddenly the whole motorway was covered and surrounded by fog. You could not see anything. And I came off the M4, M5 towards sort of southwards towards Cliefden, and it was still going on. And then I arrived at the lake and it was still really foggy, but it was sort of a really lovely soft light and atmosphere. You couldn't really see the sea behind the pool today, but yeah, I have a tow float, so I put that on and got in the water. The water was lovely, and there were lots of sort of half grown gulls around who stood on the wall of the infinity pool and just watched us swimming like with very haughty expressions. And then afterwards I got out, got dressed, and then there's a National Trust property pretty close by, about 20 minutes, and it's sort of going into the right direction back towards the motorway. And what I like to do is, because I know there's good coffee, there's a good loo, I just like to go swimming and then go on to there, because I am a member, so I can go there for free. And that's what I did today. And I haven't actually been in the house. So the National Trust property is a Victorian house, sort of Gothic revival, and because of the sun, lots of the rooms were quite dark today. But it's one of those houses where you're actually allowed to roam around a bit. I mean, obviously they had some ropes in place. You couldn't go into everything, but it was still really interesting. And so I made my way through the house, and then walked down to the kitchen garden, which is a walled garden, which obviously traps the heat, but the peonies were out. The catmint was out in full power. I sat a bit in the shade and read a bit, and then took the little shuttle bus back to the entrance, and then sat in that cafe for a bit and wrote a bit work on my current novel. It's a bit of a weird one. I'm not in the flow yet. I'm sort of starting to get into the story. So I only wrote a few pages of it. But yeah, I had a cream tea, which was lovely. And then drove home, had really good luck with the traffic. And then, because it was still really hot and I didn't just want to hide in the cottage, I decided to buy some ice cream and drive up to my local common and sit under a tree and read for a while, and that's what I did. Then came home, had a long call with my parents, and then watered the garden. It's a tiny garden, but when the weather's like this, it needs water every day, or like at least the pots do. And made myself some dinner, and that's sort of what I wrote about today. And there we have it. One full spread about today. So today was a good day to do it because it's actually quite an eventful day, all in all. Thank you so much for joining me on my eventful day. And I just love the shade of purple. The sort of twilight is the English translation for the ink name. And I think that actually is pretty spot on, because it's now it is getting dark. So it's sort of the right time to use this ink, because especially as I'm journaling in the evenings, the ink name just matches. I'm going to take a photograph of the spread and probably use it as the thumbnail so you can have a look how it looks finished, because at the moment I'm sort of at a weird angle where you can't see the full thing. Again, thank you so much for being here and keeping up with the weird stuff that I do. And tomorrow is another day, but I need to have errands to run and other stuff to do. So today was the day that I've used for the road trip, and now you know what I did. See you later.